Hello everyone, welcome back to Evo Chronicles. In today's video, we're gonna go ahead and look at the evolution of PlayStation and how it came to be. The history of Sony and PlayStation is pretty interesting, and you might find some information that you never knew about PlayStation and Sony. So let us go ahead. Before we continue though, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also activate notifications. It really helps the channel out. With that out of the way, let us continue with the video. The PlayStation has an interesting history, from botched pre-orders to fantastic mascots. Sony, just like every company, they have their fair share of failures, but they are still loved by many. The PlayStation brand has been around since 1994, and with the release of Sony's newest platform, the PS5, we thought it would be fun to go back in time and talk about the PlayStation history. In 1988, Sony and Nintendo collaborated on a project called the PlayStation, which served as a CD-ROM for the Super Famicom. After years of planning, Nintendo decided to dissolve the relationship and pursue the same idea with Philips, using the same technology, and that was due to a lack of agreement on the income split. The Super NES CD-ROM system, also known as the Nintendo PlayStation, was a collaboration between Nintendo and Sony. It was a CD-ROM based system add-on for the SNES. Before this, Sony had no interest in the video game industry, but thanks to Ken Kutaragi, who took on the creation of the system as a passion project and was able to persuade Sony's board to go along with it, Sony changed its mind, and around 200 prototypes were created. And the system was designed to play both SNES cartridges in Super Disc format. This system was never released, since Nintendo not only backed out of the Sony arrangement, but also secured a separate agreement with Sony's main competitor, Philips. This betrayal inspired Sony to launch the PlayStation at the 1991 Consumer Electronics Show, using the same technology they built for a CD-based video game device. The rest, well, it's history. Starting off with the PS1. The original PlayStation console was released in Japan on December 3, 1994, and in the United States on September 9, 1995. Over the course of its existence, the system sold 102 million units worldwide. Third-party developers that left Nintendo due to feuds over expensive licensing and restricted memory storage on cartridges were a crucial role in Sony's success. The PS1 disc could hold 660 megabytes, but an SNES cartridge could only carry 6 megabytes. Even the Nintendo 64 had memory constraints, as well as high manufacturing costs. These constraints were among the primary motivators for Square Enix to postpone Final Fantasy VII's production from the Nintendo 64 over to PS1, becoming the second best-selling PS1 game of all time, behind Gran Turismo. Next up on the line, we have the PS2. The PS2 was announced in 1999 and launched on March 4, 2000. The PS2 went on to sell over 155 million units, establishing Sony as a major power in the game business, defeating not only Nintendo 64 and GameCube consoles, but also Sega Saturn and Dreamcast consoles. Despite Microsoft's entry into the market with the launching of a more powerful Xbox, Sony maintained its market supremacy. This is actually most likely the most memorable console in my collection. It also came with some of the most unforgettable games I've ever played, with the release of GTA San Andreas, Shadow of the Colossus, Final Fantasy, God of War, and a slew of other split-screen games. There was also a slim PS2 model that was more compact and of course, slimmer. In addition, the PS2 is still the best-selling console of all time. Next up on the line, we have the PSP. Remember this? The PSP, or the PlayStation Portable, was Sony's debut into the handheld console market. The PSP was debuted in Japan in 2004 and in the US a year later, and it was evident that Sony was serious about the portable gaming business. Despite Nintendo's domination in the handheld console industry, the PSP, dubbed the Walkman of the 21st century, sold an impressive 82 million units. A lot of factors worked in the PSP's favor, yet the platform had its shares of issues. I mean, it had great graphics, and the ability to watch videos, listen to music, and the overall design was pretty good. The PSP was actually ahead of its time, However, it fell short due to Sony's proprietary UMD format, and also the high pricing of Memory Stick Duo. Having said that, the PSP was a host of high-profit games, including Monster Hunter Freedom, Metal Gear Solid, Wipeout Pure, and Ridge Racer. And even now, the PSP is popular among retro game collectors. Next up, we have the PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3 had a lot to live up to after the booming success of its two previous systems, but it didn't. Sony had firmly established itself as the market leader in video games. However, the PlayStation 3, Sony's most expensive game console to date, arrived. A PS3 with a 20GB hard drive costs $499 and the 60GB version costs $600. The PS3 was a pricey console, but it was the first one to incorporate a Blu-ray drive. It also launched the PlayStation Network, which enabled users to connect to the internet and download games as well as view Netflix and YouTube. Not to mention Sony's PlayStation Plus membership program, which debuted with the PS3. Despite being a technological powerhouse, the PS3 was first regarded as a flop. The PS3's cell processor caused developers grief. It lacked fantastic games in its early years, and the launch price was pretty expensive. But that all changed when the PS3 Slim was released. Despite this, the PS3 went on to sell more than 88 million units worldwide. The PS3 will be known for its successful exclusive, like Uncharted, God of War, Little Big Planet, and many other games. Next up, we have the PlayStation 4. The PS4 is probably the most important console in video game history. Sony released the PS4 in 2013, and that's for a low price of $399, which has helped the device compete with Microsoft Xbox One. Sony in some ways learned its lessons and avoided blunders. After launching the PS3 in 2006 for $600, the PS4 had some great game lineups, including exclusive titles. Sony has sold over 110 million units and almost 1 billion games. Since the console's release, Sony has introduced three major versions of the PS4 hardware: the original model, a thin version, and an enhanced PS4 Pro, geared at professional gamers. The top 10 PS4 games include Bloodborne, The Last of Us Part 2, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn. Next up, we have the PS5. I'm not sure how to talk about the PS5's history because we're still living it, but it doesn't matter. Let us take a look at what the PS5 has in store. First of all, the console runs games in native 4K and comes with an SSD for faster loading times. And if you didn't notice, gone are the days of loading screens. Also, the PS5 supports ray tracing, 3D audio, and many other small features. The controller is also super well designed, and it includes a microphone, haptic feedback, and a special button to easily screenshot and share recordings with your friends. With that out of the way, that's about it for the evolution of the PlayStation. I'm curious which one of these consoles is your favorite. Mine would probably be the PS2. I got so many memories with that one. Tell me in the comments below. And also, if you like our content, make sure to leave a big thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell to support the channel. And that's about it for today. Take care, guys.